Man, what? This is fucking crazy. Alex, the cameraman Alex, is a hard man to please, and he's in the background bopping his fucking head away. I hope you made a live stream of this, because I'm gonna watch that and I'm gonna learn, because this is crazy. This is super fucking crazy.
So this was a loop that I just found on Splice. What I did, I edited this sample in Ableton and ended up like this. So the point is that I kind of chopped up this sample, moved it into key, and you know, I'm just gonna start playing around with it and see if it fits or what's gonna happen.
I'm not looking for nobody else. You're the one that I choose.
I'm not going to play the whole vocal over the drops. At least I'm not planning on right now. I might end up with that, but let's just check for something that I can, like I can loop basically, like a chop, but I want to just loop something, I don't know, yeah. This is something I discovered recently. Whenever I set my input to mono and use Little Alter Boy this way, the signal will still remain mono. But if I feed a stereo signal into it, it's gonna get weird. What I did here is I just made the channel mono basically. Even if I put it back, it still gives me this like phasing issues essentially. When this goes into red, that tells you that the signal is not mono compatible anymore. So yeah, that's just not good. I'm gonna do it how I said the last time. So just feeding into a mono signal into it, and then the output is going to stay in mono, which is what I want. And just in case Little Alter Boy decides to pull some tricks on me by still messing up the phasing or whatever, I'm just gonna export these things out into new audio files. If you're using this FabFilter Pro R preset, again another pro tip, is there's this lively medium room. If you adjust this one higher, it kind of gives you this EMT type of reverb sound. At least that's what I can reference it to. Again, because this is not 100% precise, I often bounce it out like this and then edit the audio file myself. Right now I'm gonna move on to the arrangement type of part of making this remix.
If you don't know by now, if you don't know by now. On day one I was feeling, you're the one that I choose. wish you do too. I'm not looking for nobody else. Oh, but if you don't know, oh, but if you don't know, oh, but no. If you don't know, oh, but if you don't know, oh, but no.
I was traveling a little bit today, so I had some time to just, you know, listen to this a couple of times. It was like this, without no space.
If you don't know, oh, but no. Catching feels.
But this is a little bit too direct like this, so I'm just going to move things further ahead and then figure out something to do here.
Oh, but if you don't know, oh, but no. Catching feels and what?
So yeah, without any threshold adjustments, it's I'm just gonna check out the loudest points in the track to like listen what the limiter is doing really. So it's already taking a little bit out of the transient. So there are two ways to combat this. Either I can adjust this fast slow character knob here, or I can just, you know, turn on a little bit of transient emphasis. I'm gonna like go halfway and check how does this sound. Okay, so to me this is already sounding kind of good. So at this stage the only thing that's left essentially is to make the track a little bit louder to be competitive with what's being produced nowadays, or I don't know how to say it. So with the drop, like I think in the case of this track I should aim for at least -6 UFS. So it was around -8, 8.5, so I know that I will need about 2.5. Hopefully the math will add up and I will see around -6 here. So this already sounds kind of good in my opinion. It already kind of decreases the dynamics of the track enough to me so that I personally wouldn't add any more compression. I also can't hear any distortion in the low end. No stereo imager. It's mono compatible already because while so whenever I'm producing, I always have the stereo plugin on it with the width set to 0. So I essentially have a mono button, and I pretty much routinely check after all these years for mono compatibility. Like.
No, I'm stuck in the deja vu. Maybe I'm.
So to me, sounds both good in stereo and both in mono. So there's not much I would need to adjust on the stereo with. What I did was in the mixing stage. I have this imager on the bass, and I reduced a lot of the stereo image. So yeah, this would be my By Now remix, and it's pretty much done, in my opinion at least.
If you don't know, oh, but if you don't know, oh, but no.